All right, welcome back to the channel. Today we got Zach's short bed in here. A couple videos ago we talked about how this is going out to all right, welcome back to the channel. Got Zach's short bed over here in the Talbot Industries headquarters, which is my house. A couple videos ago we kind of set up and talked about how we got plans for this, because in August we're going to a dyno shootout, challenge, king of the VE, whatever you want to call it. Pretty much really to just go head to head with all the top guys running VE pumps and figure out who's got the highest horsepower on a really good, well-known dyno. So we got some work to do to get this thing up to where it needs to go. So the first thing is that we're going to send out Zach's pump back to Verlin to get gone through, and he's going to turn it up a little bit, make some adjustments, and we're going to get that back. So I'm going to get that off today. While that's out, we're going to start on the intercooler swap. We had some change of plans on that, on what we were going to originally do, but things changed for the better, I think. So I'll show you what the plan is for that. But first thing first is going to be to get the pump off. So we're just going to get all the flower bracket off. We'll get the intake out of the way, because that's got to come off to do the intercooler stuff anyways. Get the injection lines off. We'll disconnect the battery so we don't have to worry about the lift pump kicking on and making a big mess. And that'll be that. All right, so it took about a half hour to get down to this point. I've done this once or twice, to say the least. Even though I'm having a problem finding all my tools, I can't find my cordless ratchet. So that's kind of a bummer, but I'll turn up somewhere. I guess it's a good excuse to actually clean up my mess in the garage. Anyways, everything's all set. The last thing to do is to pop the gear off of the pump, and then the 3 nuts that hold the main pump on place. To get that gear off, it is press fit. It does have a key. This is my preferred puller that I use to pop the gears off. You can use a steering wheel puller, you can use a T-bar puller, there's a couple other different styles, but this is by far the easiest one that I've found. And a little tip is that those bolts, not those specifically, because those are the ones that come with it, but if you happen to lose the bolts, the long bolts that hold your front cover on are the right size to use for that puller. So it's got 2 different slots. The circles are for a P pump, since that one's got a little bit bigger of a gear, and the slots are for a VE pump. But it just goes right onto the nose of the pump. You tighten the bolts down back and forth, and it pops the gear off. And then it's nice too, because this will kind of hold that gear in place so it stays in center. The only other thing that you want to do is just line up your keyway before you pop the gear off. I prefer to put the keyway at the top, which is actually not at TDC. So if you buy a pump, it's going to come at TDC, and your keyway is actually going to be at the bottom. But then you're fighting gravity going in. If you knock the keyway, you have to worry about dropping it. I always do the keyway at the top, and you can turn the pump with the nut and a wrench outside of the truck to get it to line up. So we'll just get that lined up. We'll get that puller on, and this pump will be ready to get off. All right, so keyway is lined up with the top, and we'll just take one bolt, get this lined up. Get one bolt started. Here, put this up, find the hole, the other one, and you just want to hold it flat against the nose of the pump. Run the bolts in by hand, and you'll take your wrench and just work it on, keep it square, and you'll hear it pop. And that's it. So I run these bolts in all the way. Again, that just helps keep the gear pulled up to the case, and it helps keep it out of the way, especially when reassembling. If the front cover is still on, it helps hold that gear centered in the bore to aid with getting the pump lined up. So now we'll just take the S-wrench and we'll get that pump taken off. All right, pump is out. Pump is clean. Pump is in box. Pump go to UPS. So that's all set. Hopefully get that back. I guess the plan would be to get that back by the time I'm done doing all the intercooler stuff. And that way the truck is all set with stuff to do over here. And then Zach can pick it up, bring it back to his place, and continue on the rest of the stuff that we have going on. So we're going to get that brought to UPS today. A couple other errands that we're going to run. And then we'll get a jump back up on this. Next time you see it, we'll be working on the intercooler.